One day she'll just be like, she's kind of soft launching that we're not going to have this in the house for very much longer. This, I don't know, mixing bowl is plastic. It's so irritating. It gets so scratched. And the next day, where's our plastic mixing bowl? We don't have that anymore because it's plastic.
I am Darby Jewell. I am the oldest of the Jett kids, and I'm 23 years old.
My name is Maria Grace Jett. I am 22 years old, and I am the second-born daughter of the Jett family.
The little sister to her.
It is amazing being your little sister because Darby Jewell is so good at, bearing too many burdens. And so my job is to, make sure you don't take on too much.
I appreciate
and
that.
It's an easier role. But I still get
fun.
all
You
the
bring the
authority
fun out, yeah.
unless I don't take on, I'm going to stop here. Darby Jewell and I were younger when my parents moved us to Costa Rica, so we actually got to live together in Costa Rica back when there was only the two of us, so we're kind of the originals. And so that was really fun. I feel we have always had the special connection of being the two oldest, and a very large family is just super, super fun.
We're in charge.
Yes. It's really fun being the oldest of a large family because if you really like kids, there's always somebody to go really just cuddle with. That's what I think about a lot. It's kind of a selfish thing. So.
But also everyone loves you, which is so sweet because they're always looking up to you and stuff.
They
and they
just
want to
think
hang
you're
out
perfect.
with you, and they're so sweet.
And
yeah.
you can't, any mistake you make, then later they're like, I just love you so much. And you're like, I don't know why.
Yeah.
I love you too. And what we do around the table as well, it's so sweet because when you, people always say, a family that eats together stays together. Our family around the food table, it can last for hours, but each family member will come and we'll all be sitting there eating, and it is hilarious, and you have a problem sometimes knocking drinks over because everyone's just, talking loudly, and it is so funny, but this is where just the Spirit of the Lord must be around our kitchen table because that is where the best theological discussions come from. We're solving the world's problems. We're dissecting things that have happened in the world lately.
Movie quotes.
And half of it's movie quotes. And you would have to watch all the movies we've seen in order to
be able to properly understand the conversation.
Around this food table, you may notice a lack of food dyes or other things that you would generically think would be the average person's comfort food. This is missing. However, she replaces it faithfully with the most amazing sourdough and just the most amazing recipes that take hours. Darby Jewell will find time in her day to do it. And so she's the most amazing cook, which is a good thing because she does not let us eat there are many things that I'm not allowed to eat personally. I'm 22 years old and I'm not allowed to eat it according to this girl right here.
You feel better for it.
We feel better for it. And it's amazing. It's so important. And luckily, she just replaces it with usually the homemade version of whatever you're missing. I really want. What was the thing you made the other day?
The croissant.
No, the other one that I loved.
Not the croissant. Okay.
The raspberry.
The brownie thing.
Whatever. You know what I'm talking about. You made raspberry pistachios.
Oh, pistachio. Yeah, that was a croissant. Yeah, it was a croissant with pistachio in it.
Scones! Scones are so amazing. That's what it was. She made the most amazing scones. Darby Jewell can talk you out of eating anything if she can give you a scone. We roast our own coffee. We grind our own flour now. That's the newest thing. And you plug your ears
It's so
because
good,
it's loud.
though. It is actually delicious.
It is worth it. It is worth it. But it's kind of like, what's the analogy of the frog boiling? It doesn't know it's in hot water.
Yeah, the frog boiling in water.
One day she'll just be like, she's kind of soft launching that we're not going to have this in the house for very much longer. This, I don't know, mixing bowl is plastic. It's so irritating. It gets so scratched. And the next day, where's our plastic mixing bowl? We don't have that anymore because it's plastic. And so Darby Jewell keeps our house free of bad theological ideas and plastics.
Yeah. We lived in lots of states in the U.S., and then whenever we were younger, we lived in Costa Rica. We lived in Ecuador, and after that, we mostly went on trips out, yearly, to Honduras. And so, but we lived in Costa Rica and Ecuador.
Mostly, I think that our biggest testimony from that time period of our lives is that our parents were always inviting us on the journey, and they never left us behind. Both physically, we got to live in Costa Rica, but also that our parents were always inviting us on the journey to get to be missionaries with them. And they gave us that opportunity that so many young people our age just don't, so many people haven't had the opportunity to have. So I'm very grateful for that, because the more they invited us along the journey of what they were doing, the more that we became those people ourselves. And so in my line of work, I'm a Christian counselor, and that is directly because my mom and dad moved us overseas, became missionaries, and invited me to be a missionary too. Yeah. And then in ministry, like when we moved back to the States, every time my dad would invite me onto the journey, and my mom and dad would both go places, even if it was just something small, like to pray for someone or just anything. I just remember very specifically them bringing me along, and that is why I chose the occupation I have now, because I found a love for ministering to the people of God, and I also found a love for God in that time.
Well, it doesn't feel like they're choosing to do the ministry over you. It feels like you are doing the ministry with them, and you want to be part of it. Like, you're doing it. Like, every kid, you're making an impact in the ministry, so you want to keep doing it.
Yes, every child wants to be with their parents, and so when our parents invited us along the journey, and we were always, of course, just saying yes because it was amazing and so much fun. Those yeses became bigger yeses as we got to be adults. My yes in my childhood of being a missionary and going with my parents in little ways became ginormous leaps of faith in my adulthood that were so natural and easy because of, not always easy, but just so natural to me because of what my parents did. Yeah. So that inviting us on the journey, of course, has so much to do with our music ministry and our as a worship team together. Our parents both, worship was very important to both my parents. My dad specifically has been a worship leader for many years. At different time periods, and so he invited us onto the worship team as early as, I don't know how old I was.
12, I think.
Yeah,
and then when you were 12, like, as you aged up, it was...
I don't even know if our microphones were on at the time, but he did let us on stage, and it created in us a heart of a worshiper, and to this day, worship is just it's still my picture of heaven is constant worship. And so we still get to say yes and do these things, these crazy adventures. Worship is very important. I think that worship, especially in this time, just levels you, humbles you to who God truly is.
Yeah, it just reminds you, because your focus is on God, and so you're not thinking, oh, like, I'm so miserable. You're not thinking about yourself. You're thinking, whoa, God is so powerful. God is all wise and all knowing. And like what we said earlier about, like, trusting on the mission field and just, like, going out with him and every little thing that we would do there. It's the same thing in worship, where it's like you remember, I remember why we're following him, because he loves us, he's so wise, he's so good, and all that in worship, you just remember that.
And I know that worship is such a ministry to others, and it's very impactful to bring people into the throne room of the Lord and to worship with the family of God is a wonderful ministry, but I find myself running to it and hiding in worship.
Yeah, you can feel in the rough itch. You're like, I need to go worship.
So my worship on stage comes out of that private instilling of worship that my family has with each other. That private relationship with God and with worship is what just keeps me centered and solid whenever we go through. Sometimes, we travel a lot and we do different things, and sometimes you can just get weary, and worship is just my personal rock, that our foundation or the Lord is my rock. But
it's spending time with the Lord.
Yes.
Is worship, is spending time with the Lord and just thinking about him and not yourself. It's like the kingdom mindset.
Yeah,
like you're thinking about him and not about you.
Yes. Worship is that time to get back to him in the midst of all this crazy, crazy world.
Yeah. While we're doing worship on our worship team, I usually am playing guitar, usually electric guitar, and then playing the violin as well, switching back and forth. And I think we all kind of take turns singing lead. I think there's quite a few, like a variety of lead singers in the band as well. And
she's being humble. She's like the best worship leader.
Well,
ever.
Everyone else sings the too.
I appreciate that. And so Darby Jewell is actually our band director. My dad and Darby Jewell lead our band very well. Darby Jewell does a lot of work with arranging us as a band and also practicing.
No, yeah. Well, you guys are all so talented enough. Just it's really easy to try to arrange things and direct them. But I do like arranging and just kind of changing songs and making them fit more for our band style and everything. But it is really fun to get to work with everyone. And our dad has taught us so many things because he's so amazing. So he's the best.
So I am the bass player, mostly. That is usually what I am doing. And I also lead worship. But my favorite thing to do is to play the cello. That is my actual instrument. A lot of people don't know that because I play the bass all the time. But my first love was the cello, and I love it so much. And then besides that, I also lead worship, which is another thing I love to do. So. And a lot of times when we're worshiping, I get to speak a lot, which I love as well.
We appreciate the introverts appreciate
because I'm an extrovert, but also I actually in Jett Connect I get to do a lot of producing and writing, and subsequently also a lot of speaking too. So those are kind of my roles. Speaking of roles within Jett Connect, off stage, outside of the worship team, there are many roles that Darby Jewell and I fulfill for Jett Connect's ministry, but also for our own private ministries, our personal ministries. I do a lot of the producing and writing for Jett Connect. I actually produce our family's newsletter, which is amazing.
It's
and
really
you should
good.
totally be signed up if you're not already. But I do a lot of the producing for that. I also do a lot of our communications. So if you've ever sent Jett Connect an email, there's a good chance I replied. But beyond that, I actually found a heart, like I was saying earlier, I found a heart for counseling at a young age. And so I have partnered with a ministry that's local to me. It serves as an international ministry for Christian counselors. And so I'm currently working to get my life coaching and counselor's license with them, which I'm super excited about because it is really important to me that the body of Christ find spiritual health and wholeness, because I believe that the people of God are made to be the forerunners, to be the head and not the tail. And so I want to see spiritual health within the body, because I truly believe that that's a promise from the Lord, that he said he would come to give us life abundantly, not just in heaven, but here now we have health and wholeness. And so it is very important to me that I see the body of Christ walk in healing. And so in all areas of the family of God, including Mothers in Crisis, have a very special place in my heart. I served for a while as an advocate at a pregnancy resource center. So Mothers in Crisis have a very special place in my heart, the rights of unborn children. And so in many of these things, I find my calling. Specifically, I would say in discipleship is where I find my fulfilling is in the Lord and serving in this way. And so there are many things that we both do for Jett Connect.
We're always sharing books with each other all the time. And so I was like, I'll read this one, give me that.
Yes.
Because I'm in more on the physical side of health. But we've discovered recently, we've just been talking a lot, that the Lord is revealing to us just how important our physical health is along with the mental health. Because I've seen, personally, I had health issues a long time ago, and the Lord just brought me through that and kind of showed me the purpose he had for that time. And as we've all kind of shifted over and started seeking his guidance and kind of his direction on our physical health, we've seen so much more energy and love for the ministry. And I think we've just seen a big influx in activity towards that. And we didn't realize before how important your physical health is for your spiritual health and the activity you can do when you take care of the body God gave you. And so, yeah, we're always sharing books about stress and mental health and
Apparently,
stuff.
if you get your license as a person in healthcare, you will share lots of books with your professional
it's where is my book?
sister.
Oh, it's Maria's bookshelf. Yeah. So I got my license particularly in nutritional therapy, but I'm a nutritional therapy practitioner, and basically that's just looking at how God designed your body and finding the most natural way to support it in the way that God designed. And we take that in as well with exercise. So I'm also a certified personal trainer, and we've just seen that the Lord is bringing all of these things full circle with his kingdom. And so we're talking a lot together, but also as a family in our ministry, about spiritual health, mental health, and physical health all being connected, and how the body of Christ has many parts to it, and so we're just trying to see all of these areas covered and completely healed, I think, just in all those areas. And so that's what we want to see for the body of Christ, is physical, spiritual, mental health.
I believe that when people give their full surrender to the Lord does offer complete wholeness, and I think that disconnection from the different aspects of Christ and his church is what causes so much pain. And so here at Jett Connect, our goal is to connect so many of these aspects of health that will lead us into spiritual wholeness, that lead us into victory. And we believe that Jesus offers that. I believe that Jesus offers mental health wholeness, that Jesus, you believe, physical health wholeness, all these things, all these different aspects are what we want to connect the body of Christ to, because it is so important, like you were saying, that physical health will inhibit your own personal ministry. So it's important to have a good physical health, have a holy, sanctified temple that is healthy, and so all these things they're coming together and they're connecting. And it's so funny, we travel to many different churches and we hear a lot of the body of Christ talking about these things that I don't think that everyone was thinking
about the way they're eating and stuff, and it seems almost random, but then it's the same thing we're doing.
Yeah, so many of the things that we start thinking, I think this is really important, I think that we should start focusing on this, and then we'll visit a new church and they'll be you know what we should all be focusing on, what this area of healing we all need.
Yes.
So
just speaking about all of those different aspects of the Christian body in our own personal family, we actually see that from Maria a lot. We call her our house counselor. She's our family counselor, and everybody wants to talk to Maria. If you have something you need to talk about, you talk to Maria about it, because she is very gifted in that area. That's definitely a calling on her life. And as far as gifting goes as well, she kind of she seems to have the gift of a prophet, and so she's always talking about what the Lord is speaking to her, and just speaks into all of our lives. And so we really just love and appreciate you, because you're so amazing. And so that is kind of one of those aspects in our own personal family.
Well, Darby Jewell is invaluable to our family. Darby Jewell has the gift of a teacher. It is amazing to see, and our family, we just have we have this huge calling on our family. We have a big family, lots of people and ministries that I see definitely coming out of this family. And Darby Jewell sort of keeps us on our toes with all of this information. You should see her library. It is, I could never read a book this thick. It's crazy. Darby Jewell is always learning and gathering new information, but she does it so she can share it with our family and cause healing for our whole family. She has personally solved many of the world's issues in our family with our health and healing, and which has been amazing for us. But this is also a gift that comes out of her Bible reading as well. Among many other things, Darby Jewell is amazing. You are amazing at just connecting all this information that is a lot of times, I think, difficult for the average person to connect into real life. Darby Jewell will do it so easily. She has this whiteboard. We always call it Darby Jewell's whiteboard.
Yes.
So we go to Darby Jewell's whiteboard when we don't understand something, and Darby Jewell will draw a graph and help us to understand it. And many of my
whiteboard.
It's an amazing whiteboard. And many of my siblings are like this. They're always coming up with new things from the Bible that none of just out of the woodwork. Their own personal Bible readings.
We have the best Bible study conversations.
They last for hours, but they're so good. They're amazing. Someone needs to bring a little camera into our family Bible discussions at some point, because they're really good. We're super excited about what is happening with the Jett Connect podcast, because it is my true desire and belief that when the Lord moves, he connects his people and he brings health in all areas, spiritual, physical. It is so important that what the Lord has been speaking into our lives and into our work gets out there to people. And so we're just so unbelievably grateful and excited about what this next chapter in our lives has for us. I will be licensed as a life coach and GFI Christian counselor, and the work that we'll be able to do through this ministry and through our own personal ministries will be, I believe, have a kingdom impact, have an eternal reward, and I will be needing practicum hours soon, so we will be in contact with both of us.
And we've already been making an impact as well too. We've been hosting I've been hosting workshops recently locally, and we've been focusing on just physical health and families, and I've already seen actually a lot of people come back and say, kind of give their testimony just of how just focusing on their spiritual health the way God designed their physical health they've already seen improvement and have been able to feel better and help their families. And so it's just been really amazing to see all that. And so we've been doing more of that and are speaking at more churches and more places with all of our family counseling and physical health things as well. And so we're really looking forward to just talking about this more on the podcast. And
Our ritual has been immeasurably helpful to so many people already as a nutritional therapist practitioner.
Yeah.
Say it right.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to the end of this episode. You'll find resources from this podcast linked in the description below. You'll also find our social media platforms and ways to support our ministry. Be sure that you're following along so you never miss an update. Like, subscribe, and comment. We'd love to hear from you.